else they start hearing about them here. And what I love
you need to be empowered, knowing what to do. It could be life, it could be finances, it could be anything that probably affects you on a daily basis. So we're grateful.
Yeah, and in every broadcast that we have, every prayer and every testimony, we boldly declare family. And that again, when I listen to your programs, when I listen to Vain and Rousseau or whoever's show, we unashamedly speak the truth.
Absolutely.
We unashamedly worship openly. And we unashamedly called followers of Christ.
And moreover, if you believe in what Radio Pulpit stands for presently, you too, saying to us, unashamedly Christian.
Yeah.
You can start giving now.
Yeah.
SMS the word give to 37871. You start with that, small and weight. Give to 37871. And on WhatsApp, of course, Bongi, it's 08265729.
That is
so that's
number.
What the family could do. Because like you said, we are a family radio station talking to our family members.
And what I love about the theme is that it's not just a theme, it's a calling. It's a mission. It's a movement.
Moreover, when you go to what Paul says in the book of Romans chapter 1, he says, I am not ashamed. To preach the gospel of the gospel.
Yeah.
So this is the gospel that brings truth. And you are able to differentiate between good and evil. When the gospel has been preached, Bongi, utsamaya straight. The gospel.
Talking about being unashamedly Christian, we are joined by Pastor Josias Dos Moleele on the line. Moleele, how are you?
I'm fine, you, Bongi. Thank you so much.
I'm not alone. I am with Avuti Thompson Mashakeni vandag.
Oh, all right. Hey, Dr. Thompson.
Manesu, how are you?
I am fantastic and highly blessed. Thank you, man.
No, I'm so grateful to talk to you, my dear brother. Thank you so much for joining us indeed.
Now, we have my Y2K, my 2K. So my 2K is asking us, how do you say the surname Yamurut? Is it Moleele? Don't you have that a lot? Don't you have that a lot? Don't you experience that a lot?
I get that a lot. I use it yeah. I always introduce myself by saying Josias is Hebrew, Dos is Portuguese, Moleele is Setswana.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So we know you as a TV personality, a theater personality, an actor, director, and we have been watching you over the years, following your journey as well. But some of us didn't even know that you are pastor. Tell us about that. Muruti.
It's so interesting. I am playing a role. People might have seen it more Genesis currently, Zanzi Magic, and I'm playing the role of a bishop. So a lot of people who don't know that, Muruti in real life.
Yeah.
I hear people saying, "Hey, Rolo, you must become you must become a Muruti." I said, I take that. Thank you so much. I'll consider that.
You never confirm, but I am.
I just hear them like that. It's quite nice sometimes just to hear people saying things, and you don't have to tell them. May they see the light, So for me, it's just confirmation.
Oh, that is awesome. So how do you bring Christ in your space?
Very beautiful question. I think, I always say there's what I call identity before industry. You know, you need to have a foundation. Your worth is derived by not from the applause, from the awards, although those things are nice. First of all, a child of God. That's firstly your identity. And I think about what you have as a gift, to be a call over life. Because I always say that, when your career or your your art becomes your ministry, even secular spaces become sacred. Wherever you go, then you become the light. In the dark spaces, you become a light, become a mercenary, of God. He knows why he sent us to spaces like this. So first of all, not a mistake that you put in the entertainment world. There is a reason, because there are God's children there that needs to see the light. So wherever you are, if as a mercenary, you're there to do one thing and to win souls, but you will win them in a language that is understandable, in that world. And I'm not talking about coming there and preaching or whatever. I live my life and people ask questions. Why don't you do this?
Yeah.
Why don't you do this? And then they start to see the fruit, The role I'm playing now is easier because I'm playing the role of a bishop. It's almost like, oh yeah, we expect you to do this, because you're playing this role. But I've played other roles that were not like the bishop, and people will be shocked to see, okay, but what you're playing and what you are in real life are two different things.
Sure.
You pray when you come here. We notice, and we notice what you eat, what you drink. We notice your conversations. You open up your mouth to help others, to inspire others. Not to slander and so on. Not that I'm perfect, but these are the things that values that the Bible teaches us that people somewhat have forgotten, and when they see them afresh from somebody who is supposedly well known, they get shocked sometimes.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah.
I think, Maruti, what you are saying is very, very critical. The issue of the foundation. Identity. I suppose each and everyone would know that entertainment industry, it's a very, very challenging space. Why foundation, Muruti Moleele, so critical in terms of what you are doing currently?
Yes. I think think of a house. If the foundations, they are regata, that house will not stand. So pay attention to the foundation. Also pay attention to how you even start wherever because we are doing different projects. When we started with Genesis, because it's a faith-based storyline, there were fellow Christians. So it was an easy one where we start with prayer, and it's about music and the gospel music. So we sing gospel music. So at least the space is already set. But what happens when you go to a space where a lot of people have different faiths and so on? You need to take charge from onset. They got to know what you believe in, and that's the foundation.
Sure.
And when you offer certain things, then you start saying up front. And already, yes, you may rattle a few feathers, but that's what faith does, doesn't it? You will rattle, but then you got to show them with love why this. Why did you take this life and not an alternative life? And also through your acts, your actions afterwards, people have got to see. You've got to be salty so people can be thirsty when they see you.
Sure. Yeah, that is like a really amazing. I'm also thinking about this other advert he's in. He's a father with an attitude. Yeah, pizza.
I remember that.
And your skill is so perfect in what you do. So, as a Christian, when you show up out there, does it mean that you also have to show up like be perfect in your skill as well, because you are representing Christ and everybody's looking at Christ in you?
Absolutely. I think you're spot on. One of the things that I detest is, and I've seen, because I've done a lot of productions or theater pieces of short films in churches. Sometimes Christians can just be, I call it the shame department.
You
know why I call it the shame department? We just clap hands and we go, it's wonderful, even if it's terrible. Just because, it's done in church, and I think that's where we miss the mark, even in business, where you find that Christians want to start a business, but, I will forgive you because you're a Christian. No, it's about executing this thing right. So you need to have the skill. So I advise people to go and study the skills so that you become so good at it, and no one can question it. They can't say, "Oh no, they are not bad," but because they're Christian, well, they pass the test. No, it doesn't work like that in the real world. They first see, and then when you are there, there's like, I promise you, when you have the skill, there's something that comes upon you as well, where the spirit of excellence jumps in. But everything is laid properly. And I mean, Abraham had to put the sticks, had to put everything, and then the sacrifice came afterwards. And then the fire from above came down, when everything has been done properly. So in us as Christians, we've got to have the skill, sharpen our skills, and then go out into the marketplace. Clearly people are seeing the skills first, right? And then they meet the person, and then you start to introduce them to who is really behind this. We can't win them if our skills are also raggedy.
So we have to be excellent out there. We as Radio Pulpit, we are because we are in a world right now where the world is growing in darkness. They're growing bolder in darkness, but we choose to be even bolder in the light, and we are unashamedly Christian as Radio Pulpit, and we are unashamed of the gospel. The Bible says, as Abuti Thompson earlier reminded us of the book of Romans 1:16, that we are not, and this is what Paul says. He says, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel because it is the power of God for the salvation of everyone who believes." Now, we are that kind of a station in the times like this, and we love to hear about Journeys Salona, where you are showing forth Christ unashamedly in the marketplace, in your acting skills, in your directing skills and all, and you bring forth those characters and all. But what would you say to encourage our listeners to give to such stations that would bring out the truth as is, the station that will be unashamedly, or should I say, would speak the truth unashamedly?
Right. So I look, I believe that a station like Radio Pulpit has stood the test of time. Normally they say in any business 3 years and then everything was shut down if it's really not ordained. But radio has been going on, and because of unashamedly, as Christians and standing for the truth will ultimately prevail. The book of Revelation teaches us that when there was gross darkness, there was light. In that gross darkness, actually, the darker it got, the lighter it becomes, because when there's still a bit of light, it's confusing. But when it's really, really dark, that's when the light will really spark. So I'm believing that as the world and especially our industry gets darker and darker, radio stations like Radio Pulpit are becoming the beacon, where people are running towards. And through your storytelling, through your sharing, the testimonies, I'm encouraging a lot of people, investors, if they're listening, these are platforms where God must be manifested. There is no other place anymore. I mean, we are seeing what the world is becoming. Very secular. We see where the world, but we are warned of this. We're not shocked when it happens, because the Bible has already told us it's going to happen. But the people, remember, Elijah thought that everybody has bowed down, but God showed him there were 7,000 that have not bowed down to Baal. So I believe that Radio Pulpit is still one of those stations that has not bowed down to Baal, and therefore it should be guarded with everything that we have. As Christians, we need to be around such stations, and I'm really urging anybody listening, put in your seed, and really in spaces like this. And I believe that you're still the voice in the dark ages. We are back at the dark ages, by the way.
Sure, but we thank God that we are able to show forth the light in such a space.
Indeed. And then, Ruti, you hear the Lord Jesus having the conversation. You just spoken about the truth. He says, if you really continue in my word, in the book of John, Ruti, you are really my disciples indeed. If you continue, you are really my disciples indeed, you shall know the truth.
Yeah.
And like you said, the truth, Muruti, always prevails. Would you say that you are unashamedly Christian in this dark world? You are shining, the beacon of hope in what you are doing because you are a child of God.
Amen. No, I think you're spot on, man of God. Why I was saying in the beginning that I don't tell people that I am an ordained minister. It always moves me.
Love it
when the light, without me telling them what I believe in, who am I, and when somebody says, I see this on you.
Yeah.
Remember when in the upper room, one of the things I noticed was that they started to see, lights or pillars of fire above each other. Now, remember, I cannot see a pillar of fire upon my head, right? I need a Brother Thompson to see the pillar of fire upon
Exactly.
And for me to see the pillar of fire upon Brother Thompson, and I think that's the interchange. People must see the light. People must see you as that beacon. And I'm unashamedly a Christian. I'm unashamedly a son of God. I'm blood drenched. My name is on the Lamb's Book of Life, and I know that when I speak the oracles of God in a season such as this. I'm being called and sent for a time such as this. So that I'm not ashamed of. And I know when I speak, people are getting healed. When I open my mouth like a sage, it is to empower and to encourage somebody. So that as a Christian, you need to be carrying with you, and people must be able to see you. Until such time when Jesus was walking, people touched him and they got healed. That's where we need to be at this dark hour. We need to be that life where people can come and even mistake us to be our leader, our God.
Wow.
They did that to Paul, and he says, no, I'm not that angel. I'm like your fellow brethren. This is where we need to be elevated toward, where people now want to go, hey, and you remind them, no, I'm not that. So why is because of they were carrying something for their era, for their time.
Wow, what is it?
I'm unashamed. Hey, I will preach on. We will preach on.
But you are unashamedly Christian at the end of it all. Wow. Muridi, thank you so much for also encouraging our listeners to even give and rally behind Radio Pulpit for such causes. I mean, to keep on raising the banner of Jesus Christ in a world that is getting darker, but Radio Pulpit carrying the torch, the light, and also, showing the world or pointing the world to Jesus Christ. So thank you so much. May the Lord keep keeping you. I hope you will be coming to Radio Pulpit soon. You have to minister behind, I can tell you.
Okay.
To minister behind the mic.
All right. Murudi, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, man of God. Thank you.
Blessings to you.
God bless you, Muruti. Thank you. It is such an honor that we are also joined by Jean
We are so grateful.
Longharams, our manager of communications. We are not going to go into the talk yet, but we're just greeting you first. How are you, Jean?
Well, how are you?
You look amazing.
Oh, wow.
Is it the Visionthon?
Must be.
Could be.
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
Yes.
Good morning to you, Jean. How are you?
Thompson, I'm well. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm good.
I just listened to the interview you just had with the discussion, and I think it's just so spot on.
Yeah.
So I just want to motivate our listeners to give
Yeah.
before we even start with any interviews or anything. So I want to motivate you. Please pledge, send a SMS to 37871 or WhatsApp us at 082 657 2729. Please, it is just wonderful to hear testimonies, to work with all our people on air. But we need to keep going. Yes.
You know, Jean, Radio Pulpit, have you seen at the Olympics? There's this one carrying the light.
Yes.
Running from whatever city, handing over the radio. I see that, in a dark world. Like we are the ones carrying bold, in a bold manner.
Yes.
And we're saying we are unashamedly Christian.
We are.
Yes, absolutely.
And light cannot be shut down, Jean, no matter how strong the darkness is. Light will always prevail. And that's what we are doing. And thank you for encouraging the family as well, just to remind them of the number that they're supposed to pledge in. Absolutely brilliant.
Let's take a break and then come back to talk to Jean. We're getting ready. You want to know about the theme? Stay tuned.